to matchups, this is a relatively evenly matched so far. It's hard to tell what we know really about both teams, but what are the matchups that you're watching today?
I'm watching defensive backs for Georgia against wide receivers for Tennessee. They have to win for Joey Aguilar. They've really just got to get off the line of scrimmage. This officiating crew last week had South Florida against Florida. They called 20 penalties for 178 yards in that game. If they're going to call a lot of things today, it's probably not great for Georgia that way in terms of how grabby they tend to be in the secondary. But listen, if they're going to let them play that way, you've got to get open regardless. That's your problem. You let the officials worry about the officials.
Yeah, the wide receivers have always been kind of that question going into this season, and they're going to get tested today. Georgia's defensive back is really good. They've played exceptionally well. So we're going to see what we have at wide receiver. I think the other side of it is that offensive line and the defensive line. Mm-hmm. It really is. In order for us offensively to be successful, we got to be able to throw the ball down the field. But until we establish a running game, it makes it very difficult. And to kind of give you a sense of how that works, if you're not able to get, like Mike said, get off the line of scrimmage at the wide receiver mark, they will take that safety and drop that safety in and say, hey, look, we'll go one-on-ones on the outside. We'll win the battle over Tennessee's wide receivers. And if they do that, they'll drop the safety in, and that adds another defensive guy for the run game, and that's what we do not want to see happen. So we got to win the battles outside where we can be man up with Georgia. We win the battle in the trenches to be able to establish a running game.
Because everybody who plays defense for Georgia, including the defensive backs, they tackle.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
they
do.
Not every defensive back tackles.
That's right.
But they really tackle their safeties, especially. So you've got to find
a head coach that played secondary.
Who was a safety?
What's the first thing you do? You teach them how to tackle.
That's right.
How about the guys you're really needing to have a big day today?
I'm thinking about Miles Kitzelman at tight end, but I'm really thinking about Ethan Davis at tight end.
Absolutely.
1 catch, 1 yard so far. And this guy's a real –
he's the sleeper of the day, right?
I'm just saying. Keep an eye on Ethan Davis today, Atlanta guy, former All-State basketball player. He could be a guy that could take advantage of some of those matchups that we're talking about because, listen, if you got tight ends – you're always going to have a winning matchup because you can't cover them with a linebacker.
That's right.
They're too big for a safety, and they're way too big for a corner. So if there are some ways that Tennessee can get into that with Kitzelman but also with Davis, I think it could be a big advantage.
The next one is Joey Aguilar. I think our quarterback is better than their quarterback. And experience-wise, he's played in bigger games. He's played in more games in college. And I think Joey, the way he's played those first, it's the little things that's made the difference to me, right? The poise in the pocket. It doesn't matter if you're playing Syracuse or you're playing Georgia. When a defender gets by one of our offensive linemen, you'll see how a quarterback reacts. He's poised. He's calm. When he gets out of the pocket, he gets on the corners, but he is doing one thing first. He is getting on the corner to throw the ball first, and his second thought is to run. That doesn't happen a lot when you get pressure from a quarterback. Sometimes they lose it all together, and they're just trying to find a place to run. You see that often, not with Joey Aguilar. He does a great job of getting on the corner, and he's going to put pressure on that defensive back because he can run, but he also can throw on the run.
And he's not going to have to deal with noise today. Gunnar Stockton is going to have to deal with noise today, Brittany, for the first time. His major start, even though he started in the CFP quarterfinal, that was at a neutral site.
That's right.
So hopefully, from the Tennessee perspective, maybe you score first, you keep the crowd into it, you put him in a position where if the crowd can stay in this game, they can be a factor against Gunnar Stockton and the communication of the Georgia offense.
That's another great point, and that could perhaps put him in a position where he has to start to scramble. He's good with his legs, but this crowd could really make a difference.
Let him scramble, we win the football game, right?
Sure.
I mean, we're going to win the football. If he's out of the pocket often, that means we're putting a tremendous amount of pressure on him. I like our linebackers against their quarterback when it comes to being able to chase him down and tackle him for loss.
You'll take it. On the other side of the ball, though, Tennessee has struggled historically recently in the passing game against Georgia.
No doubt.
How can they remedy that to make, to your point, Joey Aguilar comfortable?
Well, I think we have to be consistent. First of all, we got to be able to protect our quarterback. Our offensive linemen have to do an incredible job against a very talented defensive front for Georgia. If we get enough time to make those just a tick, sometimes you just need a little extra time, then we can get the ball down the field. I think we can be successful.
I'll say it again, though, and this is going to be one of my keys, spoiler alert. The bottom line is Tennessee's got to run the football. To have success in the passing game, they have got to run the football because they do not need 3rd and 15 against this defense. They need to stay on schedule and be able to not be predictable, to take some of the pressure off of Joey Aguilar because, hey, Kirby Smart's going to bring them from everywhere.
Yeah, Brittany and I talked about earlier, that first down and third down is important. First down, get yardage on first down. Third down, let's convert so we can keep our defense off the field.
Georgia opened up the season against Marshall. It was a bit of a sleepy win. Austin Peay, that one's kind of hard to take anything away from with all the weather delays.
That's right.
May want to throw that one away. Does that make it harder to prepare against this team that you really haven't seen in full force yet?
I don't think so.
No.
I think you know that they've been holding a bunch of cards close to the vest, some personnel close to the vest. But guess who else has been too?
That's right.
The people wearing the orange have been too. I don't think either knows everything about the other one, but I think they have a pretty good idea what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia's going to come into this game, and I'm not going to say they're going to be vanilla, but oftentimes they're going to line up and they're going to match up. They're going to dominate, and they have been for the last, 7 years against Tennessee. Now we've got to change that formula, and for us to be able to mix it up offensively, we're doing more things offensively than we have in the last 2 years. I mean, the last time I've seen our offense kind of work like this was Hendon Hooker.
Right.
I mean, we're going faster. We're spreading the field. For the last 2 years, we've been throwing the hitch route almost every play, right, in the passing game. We're getting the ball down the field. We're protecting our quarterback. We're getting the wide receivers, the slot, and the running backs and tight ends in the game. So we're spreading the ball across the field. And the most important thing I think we're able to do that has been a real change is the amount of motion we're using offensively. Try to keep the defense off balance. Kind of open up and to define what coverage they're going to be in based upon our movement. So there's a lot of things. I think Joey's handling that phenomenally well and being that field general the way he should be when it comes to our offense.
You could see Joey Aguilar on some designed runs in this game, too, that could really make a difference. Gunnar Stockton's going to do the same thing, but Joey didn't have a rush last week against East Tennessee State. That's good. He didn't need to get hit last week. Today, it's all out there. The other thing too, you got to defend all 4 downs against Georgia. Kirby Smart goes on 4th down a lot. I mean a lot. 64% conversions in his career at Georgia on 4th down, and he scored 16 touchdowns on 4th down plays. So they'll pull it out, throw it deep, do whatever they have to. If they're down near the goal line, that's 4-down territory for Kirby Smart.
And watch him on special teams, too. He may take a chance on that 4th down on special teams.
Well, he's only got the all-conference snapper preseason, the all-conference punter preseason, the all-conference returner preseason, and the all-conference place kicker preseason. Other than that, they don't have anything.